First, let's talk about the ship itself. The Enterprise isn't simply a spacecraft, it's essentially a flying city. Living quarters, laboratories, medical facilities, engineering spaces, recreation areas, food production, storage, life support systems. At first glance, something that enormous might seem impossible. But there's nothing in physics that says a spacecraft can't be enormous. The real question is how we would build it. And the answer may be in space itself. Imagine trying to launch the entire Enterprise from Earth. The amount of material would be staggering. Today's rockets simply aren't designed for something like that. But we don't necessarily have to launch the entire ship from the ground. We could build it in orbit, piece by piece. Large sections could be manufactured on Earth, transported into space, and assembled by robots and astronauts. Eventually, humanity could develop factories in orbit capable of manufacturing enormous spacecraft directly in space. And once that happens, the size of a spacecraft becomes less about what a rocket can carry, and more about how much material humanity can move into space. Now, we reach an even bigger challenge. How do you keep hundreds of people alive for years or decades without returning to Earth? This is where the Enterprise becomes surprisingly interesting. A future deep space vessel would need to recycle almost everything. Water would have to be recovered. Air would have to be constantly purified. Food would have to be grown or stored. Waste would need to be processed and reused. The ship would need enormous amounts of energy. And then there's radiation. Outside Earth's protective magnetic field, astronauts are exposed to dangerous cosmic radiation. A real deep space vessel might need thick shielding made from materials such as water, specialized composites, or other dense protective materials. But there's one problem that makes everything else look easy: distance. The nearest star system beyond our own is more than 4 light-years away. Even traveling incredibly fast by today's standards, reaching another star would take an enormous amount of time. And this is where Star Trek makes its biggest leap into science fiction: warp drive. The Enterprise doesn't simply fly extremely fast. It supposedly manipulates space-time itself, allowing the ship to travel faster than light. Physicists have explored mathematical concepts involving the manipulation of space-time, including the famous Alcubierre warp drive concept. But a mathematical possibility isn't the same thing as an engineering blueprint. We don't currently know how to build a working warp drive, and we don't know whether nature actually allows us to create one. So does that mean a starship is impossible? Not necessarily. Humanity could potentially build something much more primitive than the Enterprise: a generation ship. Instead of traveling faster than light, it would travel through ordinary space. The people who leave Earth might never reach their destination. Their children might. Their grandchildren might. The ship could become a miniature civilization traveling between the stars. And unlike the Enterprise, this idea doesn't require us to break the speed of light. It simply requires us to solve some incredibly difficult engineering problems. So, could humanity build the Enterprise? The honest answer is complicated. A gigantic spacecraft? Probably possible. A self-sustaining civilization traveling through space? Perhaps. Artificial gravity? Potentially. Through rotation or other future technologies. Traveling between stars? Physics doesn't forbid it. But the engineering challenge would be enormous. And faster than light travel? Right now, that's still science fiction. But perhaps the first great starship won't look exactly like the Enterprise. It may not have warp drive, it may take generations to reach another star, but when that ship finally leaves Earth, humanity will have taken its first true step toward becoming a civilization among the stars.